So through my research, which we've been doing this for about 10 years, we're interested in e-liquids that are found in e-cigarette products and looking at their toxicities. There's tens of thousands of different flavorings. And so we screened a bunch of them. And our major finding is that not all flavorings have the same level of toxicity.
One of the biggest misconceptions that I hear when it comes to vaping is that it's safer than smoking conventional tobacco, which is absolutely not true. The vehicle that's used to dissolve the e-liquids actually makes it easier for it to dissolve into your lungs. It's actually not safer for you to vape than it is to smoke. But once it gets dissolved into your bloodstream from your lungs, one of the organs that could be affected afterwards are your bones. And that's probably not the first thing that comes to your mind, but by age 18, you acquire 90% of the maximum bone density that you'll have for the rest of your life.
We know that nicotine inhibits the growth of our bone-forming cells. That will result in a decreased peak bone mass, especially if the users are under the age of 18. Decreased bone mass can put you at a greater risk for fracturing. It can also put you at a greater risk for osteoporosis later in life.
The amount of nicotine in these e-liquids that we're studying is astronomically larger than the amount of nicotine that we see in regular tobacco cigarettes. So there could be an even greater impact on these bone cells specifically.
When we expose the bone cells in our research to the e-liquids, even at really low concentrations, we can see that as the concentration of e-liquids increases, so does the number of damaged cells. And you can see that really clearly under the microscope. The only difference in the cells that we treat and the cells that we leave as our controls is the amount of e-liquids that we expose them to. And on one side you see living cells, and on the other side you see dead cells. From our studies, we've determined that the menthol and cinnamon flavors are the most toxic.
And a lot of these effects are happening independent of nicotine. And so the flavorings are having effects, and the nicotine is causing the addiction.
Although we don't have the same longitudinal studies that we do in tobacco smoking, the fact that we were able to see flavor-dependent responses in our cells at such low concentrations definitely suggests that we're moving towards an outcome that is just as bad, if not worse, in the long term when it comes to vaping.
The bottom line is the research has not caught up with the popularity.